Hi, in this video we are going to see which is the best way to invest in the stock markets. Welcome to Findas, a place where you can be financially bindas. This is Samir Machwe and I am going to help you create abundance in your life. There are two basic ways of investing in the stock market. One is the direct route, that is to go out, open a demat account and start buying stocks directly in that account. The second way is to buy the equity mutual funds, through which an asset management company, the AMC, will buy stocks on your behalf. Most investors have this conversation, or let me take the liberty to use the word debate, on whether buying stocks is better or buying equity mutual funds is better. In this video, we shall try and find an amicable solution, so to say, to this debate. I am going to give you some serious food for thought and we are going to examine 10 points which will help you make a decision. Hence, watch this video till the end. I guarantee you one thing. By the end of this video, you will get the answer to one question for sure, and that is which of these two methods, buying direct stocks or buying equity mutual funds, is better for you. At the end of the day, I believe this is what matters for any investor. Let us start comparing both the methods point by point. Point number one. When you invest in stocks directly as a retail investor, you do it alone. It means you are on your own throughout the complete process of investing. You yourself will have to identify the opportunity to invest in, then invest it, and then exit at a proper time. However, if you invested through equity mutual fund, you are going to get the benefit of working with a team. The fund manager will have a team of people who will take their decisions based on well-established processes and a lot of data crunching. There is no second guessing that a team will usually perform better than an individual in most real-life situations. Point number two. This is about the source of information based on which we make the investment decisions. For the retail investor, what is the source of information? For majority of them, it is the pink papers, the financial newspapers, other print media like some magazines, TV channels or financial websites, name a few. Some of them may consult the stockbroker or even rely on some grapevine, the rumors that go around in the Dalal Street. A few of them may consult a financial expert also. You will appreciate that most of the information that the retail investor is going to use is already in the public domain. As against this, let us now look at what information source does the fund manager of an equity mutual fund have. The primary source of information is company financials. Things like balance sheets, profit and loss accounts and other similar reports which normally the retail investor won't venture into. The fund manager will also have an access to the company management and often have a lot of on-the-court intelligence which normally will be out of reach of the retail investor. So, in a way, the fund manager is much well informed and closer to the source of information as compared to the retail investor. This puts the equity fund manager into a commanding position over the retail investor, because of which the fund manager is likely to make better investment decisions. Point number three. As a retail investor, one may not be qualified by education or by experience to invest in stocks directly. Most investors lack both knowledge and experience. In fact, most people enter the equity markets because they think that it is a place to make quick money without much effort. Unfortunately, this is not true. Making consistent and serious money from any of the asset classes will take some serious effort. There is no free lunch. The retail investor may be differently educated, like he may be an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer or anything else, but he may not be financially educated. Most investors lack the expertise required to manage money. As against this, the fund manager and his team are educationally qualified, specifically educated for the purpose of managing money in multiple asset classes. This makes all the difference in the final results that we see. Point number four. For the retail investor, earning money through the equity investing is not a full-time activity. This is not a bread and butter thing for majority of them. They earn their money from elsewhere, may it be a job, a profession or a business. Then they invest this money into these stocks with their own little knowledge, information and research. They rarely do this full time. As against this, the fund manager and his team does this activity of investing in stock markets full time, day in and day out. It is their occupation, it is their job. An activity that you do full time will give you much better result as compared to any part-time endeavor. More so if you are not educationally qualified to do that part-time thing. Point number 5. This probably is the most crucial point in the whole process. Since the retail investor is alone, less qualified, his emotions will intervene in the decision making to a large extent. Rarely do the retail investors make data-based decisions, and they are mostly driven by the emotions of greed and fear. These emotions are very rampant in the stock market, and this shows up as the volatility or the fluctuations in the stock prices as well as the indices. There is also an emotional trap in which many investors fall. When retail investor makes money over a period of time, especially in trending markets, he may start thinking of himself as an expert based on some short-term evidence. This complacency is what I call the trap, and this may lead to investing mistakes. The fund manager and his team is largely insulated from this kind of emotional decision making. Equity mutual funds have well-defined processes and algorithm-based decision-making models where personal choices will have little influence. The decisions are completely data-driven and backed up with a lot of logical research. Since data management is process-driven, there is little chance of the fund management team individuals falling in the trap of thinking about themselves as experts and then taking credit for the fund performance single-handedly. This brings us to the next point on what tools are available for this data crunching. Point number 6. If we see what tools are available with the retail investor to do his research, he has primarily his computer and some data in the public domain. Since the retail investor is not financially educated, he may not be equipped to find out where the data is available and what tools he needs to use for better efficiencies. As compared to that, the fund management company invests a lot of money in state-of-the-art technology, which keeps them ahead of the retail investor. These softwares have capabilities to deal with huge volumes of data, which is not possible to be analyzed at an individual level, however smart a retail investor may be. Hence, in today's modern days, technology becomes a big factor influencing the final result. Point number 7. This may appear to be a bit too straight, but the fact of the matter is that non-performance is acceptable for the retail investor. The accountability of retail investor is limited to himself. However, in an organizational context, accountability is much higher when it comes to the AMC handling the investor's money. There is a complete hierarchy wherein the performance is questionable at all levels, like any other organization. When there is accountability in the system, normally it will produce good and consistent results. This is proved by the fact that we have more than 20 years of data as an evidence that equity mutual funds have created great wealth for the retail investor. I have already shared all this data in my video last week. If you have not seen the video already, I will share the link to that video in the description below. Point number 8. Investing in stocks directly needs your active involvement in the complete process, starting with identification of the opportunity, analysis, execution, and finally monitoring of the investment. Most direct stock investors are not full-time and hence spend most of their time working for money in whatever occupation they may be engaged. Hence, they have little time left to invest in this direct investing process. This is one of the major reasons why majority of retail investors actually get below par results in direct stock investing. Equity mutual funds are actually designed to have a passive involvement of the investor. What this means is that you do not need to be actively involved in the stock picking or the decision making activity yourself. In fact, it is like you have hired a professional team to manage your money without bothering yourself with the nitty-gritty of the things that actually lie outside of your domain of expertise. This is very logical as well as convenient because you cannot actually become an expert in every other field, may it be investing, health or legal for example. Point number 9. If as a retail investor, one of your goals is also saving income tax besides making profit on your investment, direct stocks will never help you in this aspect. Investing in direct equity does not give any tax breaks whatsoever. Equity mutual funds, however, offer this facility along with growing your money. There are some special funds called the Equity Linked Savings Scheme, ELSS for short, or more popularly known as tax saving mutual funds. These tax saving funds offer you the benefit under the section 80C of the income tax and with a lock-in period of 3 years, which is the lowest amongst all the tax saving vehicles available in the market. These equity funds have produced very good returns for the investors, and I have already published a detailed video on this subject. I am sharing the link to that video in the description below for your benefit. Make sure you watch that video before you make any tax saving purchases for this year. Point number 10. Direct stock investing is a process which is primarily controlled by the investor himself. For most retail investors, this is a very haphazard process without much control. Moreover, because of emotional involvement, the emotions of greed and fear, it does not remain on track most of the time. Due to this, a very small percentage of retail investors actually manage to create consistent return on investment. The rich people get rich by following processes that are automatic and mechanical. Equity mutual funds will do exactly same for you. The best creation of equity mutual funds is the concept of SIP, Systematic Investment Plan. Through an SIP, you can invest a predetermined amount every month. It is automatic in that the money is deducted from your bank every month through ECS. And it is mechanical in that the investor does not need to do any adjustments to the investing process. It almost runs on autopilot as far as the investor is concerned. Over the long term, investing in equity mutual funds through the SIP route works out like a well-oiled machine, producing consistent returns for the investor. Finally, to conclude this conversation, we saw that direct equity investing as well as equity investing through equity mutual funds has certain pros and cons. However, you will appreciate that direct equity investing will require knowledge, experience, and active investment of the investor's time. As against this, the equity mutual fund require nothing of this sort and can be managed completely passively by anyone on a monthly basis with an investment of as low as 1000 rupees. So, in a way, if mutual fund investing is like driving a car on the city roads, direct stock investing is comparable to driving a Formula 1 car on a racing circuit. I hope you appreciate the risk-reward ratio in both of these activities through this example. It's your money and it's your life. Hence, it's your choice to either invest in direct stocks or equity mutual funds or both. I hope you do it with due consideration to the 10 things that we have discussed so far in this video. I hope you generate great returns on your investments too. Please subscribe to this channel and turn on the notifications so that you don't miss any of our regular updates. I post a video every Sunday on various topics like investing, money management, and wealth creation. Do follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Check our website findasconsulting.com to find out more about the services we provide to create abundance in your life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.